How to be smart and successful. Hello, this is Keith Livingston from Hypnosis101.com. Welcome to this video, NLP and hypnosis tip. I was in a room recently with a lot of smart and successful people. One thing that struck me was their audacity. Yeah, they were audacious. One of them said something along the lines of, if we could get a bunch of smart people in the room and figure out the global water problem. In other words, they weren't afraid of thinking big. They weren't afraid of believing there were solutions to big problems. And they weren't afraid of believing that they personally could contribute to those solutions or even solve them themselves. They all were willing to consider new ideas and that incorporating new ideas into their worldview might help them. They were open-minded, but they weren't so open-minded that their brains fell out. They were playful, fun, and generous. And as we talked about NLP and hypnosis, they all easily and naturally were able to grasp the concepts. And then it struck me. Sometimes it's harder than others when you're in my business, and that's teaching NLP and hypnosis to people. One of the biggest challenges can be asking people to, even temporarily, let go of their current way of viewing things. As Albert Einstein famously said, we can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. One thing we can infer from that statement is that if you want to solve a problem, you may need to change your thinking. And what's left out of that statement altogether is that you may have to change your worldview, your frame, in order to think differently. As Carl Sagan said, if you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe. What got me was that all the smart, successful people in the room were able and willing to easily and readily change their frame based on new, reliable information. They all used their imaginations, and they weren't afraid to dream, and dream big. But they didn't dream in a pie-in-the-sky kind of way. They thought in a pragmatic way, very pragmatic. I would coin a new phrase, pragmatic audaciousness, but it's too hard to say. Now, are these perhaps the very qualities they needed to have in order to become smart and successful? I certainly think it's a big part of the picture. So what do we do to encourage this kind of thinking, pragmatic audaciousness, in our own lives? Well, number one, look at areas where we're not successful. They can show us where our thinking is flawed. 2, be childlike. Question things. 3, cite your sources. When you sit down and are really critical about where your beliefs come from, you may find a lot of less than solid answers. Take a look at those. Number 4, dream big and act practically. 5, listen to people from outside of your field. And number 6, be willing. Be willing to let go of those old frames and take on new frames. Be audacious. Be pragmatic. Change the world. For more details on this subject, visit the link below the video. And for more NLP and hypnosis tips, visit Hypnosis101.com. This is Keith Livingston. Bye-bye for now.